In 460 to 370 BC, Democritus and Leucippus created the first atomic theory. Their theory stated that the world was made up of tiny particles called atoms. The word atom means indivisible in Greek, since at the time it was believed to be exactly that. A man named Aristotle thought differently than Democritus. Between 384 to 332 BC, he came up with the idea that the world was made up of air, water, fire, and earth instead of tiny particles, or atoms. In the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church used Aristotle's ideas, and people who denied them and followed Democritus and Leucippus were excommunicated from the church, or otherwise killed. It took nearly 2,000 years before the next major scientist continued the theory of atoms. In 1643 AD, Isaac Newton was the next major scientist who formed the theory of light, and that light was made up of particles. He also formed 3 laws of motion. 1. If an object is moving at a constant speed, it won't change unless you force it to speed up or slow down. 2. The acceleration of an object depends on the strength of the overall force applied to it, as well as on the mass of the object. 3. With every action, there is a reaction. With atoms still being a theory, no one was 100% sure whether they really existed or whether the world was made up of the 4 raw elements. Famous scientist John Dalton believed in the theory of atoms and created a new idea based on Democritus's theory. Dalton's theory consisted of 4 major ideas. 1. All matter is composed of atoms that are indivisible. 2. All atoms are identical in properties, such as size and matter. 3. Atoms are rearranged as a chemical reaction occurs. 4. Compounds are formed by a combination of multiple atoms. 5. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed. In 1897, Joseph Thomson discovered the electron, which belongs inside an atom. His work proved one of John Dalton's theory incorrect, since the atom is not indivisible, but rather made up of multiple components. He discovered the electron while using the cathode ray tube. He demonstrated that cathode rays were negatively charged. Ernest Rutherford was a man who was famous for his discovery of the protons and nucleus. His famous gold foil experiment revealed the existence of protons. The gold foil experiment works by shooting alpha particles at a gold foil sheet, observing where the particles landed. Some particles shot straight through the sheet, while others hit protons and rebounded, which was the gateway to the discovery of protons. Niels Bohr was a man who created a new, clean and efficient model of the atom. His model consisted of electrons that move around the nucleus in layers, or shells. As the energy level would change, so would the location of the electron. Bohr was the first person to introduce quantum mechanical model, where the electrons acted as a cloud around the nucleus. Erwin Schrödinger was a man who improved on the quantum mechanical model. Supposedly, he worked with Bohr and used a mathematical equation to describe the odds of finding the exact location of an electron, which he called the layers of an atom, or orbitals. James Chadwick was a man who worked with Ernest Rutherford to help prove the existence of neutrons. Chadwick discovered that neutrons help stabilize the atom's nucleus. He discovered that neutrons are always found inside the nucleus of atoms, and that they are about the same size as protons. However, neutrons have no charge, hence the name.